Hey guys, it's Claire. You want to know how we did after the frost last night? So, it says banana pepper, but y'all, nothing. And that says dresba, which is a form of a tomato. Nothing. This says celery. I mean, you guys, they're just literally not there. Here's another dresba. Look. I mean, come on. Here's a celery. This is really breaking my heart. And I hate to say this, but on both beds, it's just the same. It's such a sad moment. Well, that was a ground cherry. Banana pepper doesn't exist. Another ground cherry that somehow doesn't exist. I mean, it's just really sad. Now here is an Amy's apricot cherry tomato, so we'll have to keep our eye on this one. And here's a green giant, and here's a black prince. So they're not looking too hot. This one is also an Amy's. Just to compare, these are the original beds, all with cold hardy vegetables. Everything is doing just fine. Of course, we'll update you more on Sunday. But it's like frost, what frost? We're all good over here. No sweat. But those tomatoes did not like it. So, this is so disappointing, and I really want to hear from you guys. Where are you with this frost? First of all, if you're Zone 7B or somewhere near, we're in north of Atlanta. How did your seedlings do? And I'm particularly interested in hearing from you if you're one of the people that put things in early April or around Good Friday, which is when the traditional folklore down here in the South says that it's always safe to plant. Because a piece of me thinks that maybe if I hadn't been so cautious, if I had been willing to get these seedlings in the ground in the beginning of April, maybe they would have actually established more of a root system in these raised beds, and that could have protected them more from the frost. I'm really not sure. I know that my intent was to be overly cautious and, keep everything out 2 weeks past the predicted last frost, which this year was beginning of April. So that's what we did. We really didn't get anything in until late Sunday night and Monday. So I just can't help but wonder if part of why they fared so poorly is because they really didn't have any time to get adjusted to this new bed. And then we have this frost. So if you planted stuff earlier, let me know. If your stuff also didn't fare well, then that would actually be really good information for me to have. And if your stuff did fare very well, I would love to know that, because I'm sure we're going to have this same, conversation next year this time, right? It's just part of being in the South in the springtime. So there's that. The second thing that I want to observe is typically it's the hot peppers and the eggplants that are like way more specific about temperature and more finicky. And yet in this case, it's the jalapenos and my cayennes and my eggplant that have done the best. Jalapeno, eggplant, cayenne. It's the tomatoes that really did not like this. The tomatoes, the celeries, and the banana, the hot Hungarian banana peppers. Those are the three crops that just went. So I just think that's interesting, because I almost didn't put out all of my hot peppers. And in fact, I didn't, now that I think about it. I left some in the seedling tray. So that might be something for us to compare and look at the growth levels and see the difference between the ones that got planted and the ones that are still in the seedling tray. The third thing that I just really want to leave you with is part of, for me, the joy of gardening and going down this journey is really some of the life lessons that nature is teaching me or reminding me of. And this is just a really great lesson in flexibility, adaptability. And, I'm not in charge. I like to walk around all day and think that I'm in charge, but I am not in charge. There is other stuff happening. And no matter what I plan or do that makes me feel like I am in charge, I am not. And I think that's a really good reminder to have. We do the best with what we've got. And what I've got is a long growing season. I've got plenty of seeds left. So there's nothing stopping me from direct sowing right now. And we will still have a beautiful crop. And I will be able to be just fine in the big scheme of things. So I am grateful for the opportunity to just sort of remember there's a whole thing going on out there. I'm a tiny, tiny speck in it. And in the big scheme of things, we're all okay. We're all good. So, anyways, I know I can kind of get wordy when I start thinking about things sort of metaphorically. So, sorry about that. I know some of you that are artists and dreamers and, romantics at heart, you get where I'm coming from. But for the rest of you, thanks for humoring me. Anyways, Sundays we'll have our garden tour, and I really hope you check back. And please hit subscribe if you haven't already. We definitely appreciate your support, and more importantly, when you hit subscribe, it makes sure that you don't miss anything, and it also helps YouTube know the kind of person to put our content in front of so that other people can join along for the ride. So anyways, have a great day, have a great weekend. We'll see you Sunday.